For Dr. Michael Bevacqua, a Chamorro Studies professor at the University of Guam, it's not necessarily about preservation.
Because preserving things means keeping them the same. And so no generation really wants to keep everything exactly the same, because there's ways you can improve things, but then also the world changes around you.
And with the world constantly changing, Bevacqua has found ways to improve and change how we can learn and speak the Chamorro language by making it more relatable.
For me, any way that we can sort of incorporate the Chamorro language and then the Chamorro culture into our daily lives is really important.
Bevacqua offers free Chamorro language classes in the community at Java Junction on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in Agatna.
It's a much more informal setting for kind of learning Chamorro and then raising your sort of consciousness or your knowledge level as a Chamorro.
He's also active on social media, posting on Facebook about his adventures in Chamorro, especially with his children. Yes, they are fluent in Chamorro.
For me, I speak to my kids in Chamorro all the time, and then I teach Chamorro, and then I interact with Chamorro speakers. I do all these things, and so these are just adventures on what it's like on the island today, using the Chamorro language a lot, trying to perpetuate the language, and then just all the randomness of trying to talk to my children in the Chamorro language too.
One of the projects, however, he's most proud of is one that he's currently working on with his brothers, the Guam Bus.
We are big nerds, and we did not grow up incredibly or particularly Chamorro, and so coming into adulthood now and taking issues of that more seriously, we want to bring together things that we love growing up, which many Chamorros today love as well, like anime, action movies, science fiction, comics. We want to take those things and then basically make them Chamorro. And so, children's books, comic books, those sorts of things, we want to make those things.
In other words, teaching our culture in more interesting and creative ways to a new generation of Chamorros.
When you think about your average young person today, they don't really care much about Chamorro stuff because they think Chamorro stuff is riding in the back of the car with your grandparents when they go to a funeral. And to them, Chamorro depressing, Chamorro sucks. But if you can tell them, no, Chamorro is like ancient warriors fighting using like magical powers, then it's like, it's kind of cool. It's a little bit cooler than listening to my grandparents fight about how somebody sold the land 50 years ago. That's kind of cool. Or, children's books, basically teaching the language in ways which is not necessarily focused on pleasing older people, but young people. What are the types of things that young people are seeing in social media, in the internet, on TV, making it align with that.
While he may be focused on the future, it's his connection to the past that inspires him today. Bevacqua saying the two people that have greatly influenced him are his grandparents, Master Chamorro blacksmith Joaquin Lujan and his grandmother Elizabeth.
He was kind of the last, I guess you would say, traditional Chamorro blacksmith, where he was taught by his father, and it was a family tradition. My grandmother, who was valedictorian for the last GW class before World War II broke out. She was the one that really taught me and helped me learn the Chamorro language as an adult.
All grown up and our latest inductee to the Culture Club, Bevacqua believes it's really up to everyone, including the government, to keep our culture and language alive.
One of the words we like to use is, of course, revitalization, is that there is something there, but it's silent, it's quiet, it's forgotten, and so you kind of want to revive it again. And so I definitely think that's one of the things to remember, is it's not like the language is dead yet. It's not like culture is dead, but definitely needs more effort, more personal effort, more public effort to keep these things alive, to keep them healthy and strong.